Hey guys, it's me, Aiden. I've been up for hours just trying to figure out what this game is. What's gonna be inside it? I'm so excited for this game, but we literally know nothing. We have more questions than we have answers, and it's driving me insane. I want to go frame by frame, deciphering every little thing that happened inside this trailer. Let's go.
The trailer starts off fading in on Plankton, of all people, on his little keyboard on the THQ Nordic logo. This is in direct reference to the SpongeBob SquarePants Band Geeks episode, where he plays the piano at the very beginning of the song. Then it fades into SpongeBob in a spotlight wearing his Band Geek costume. Now, I think this means that we're gonna have costumes inside this game, which I'm crazy excited about that. I've been wanting that for forever. And here we also see a floating Patrick Star up ahead. Now, it's not exactly our Patrick Star. We'll get more into that later. SpongeBob then gets sucked into a dimension, and here we see plenty of different instruments, including a jar of mayo, in reference to "Is Mayo an Instrument?" the popular meme that Patrick started way back when. SpongeBob also hops onto a bubble surfboard. If I were to assume gameplay-wise, this is how you travel throughout this dimension. There being items inside your way, and you're on your surfboard trying to go around it. This is probably a gateway from different level to level. SpongeBob then hits the ground and hits all these different slime monsters. They look like the kind of monsters that you would find deep underground. You know, that deep part of the ocean. This one has two different faces. Now, it's safe to assume that these guys are going to be the enemies of this game and not robots or something like the past game. SpongeBob Iron Man's down inside his karate gear, and he tries to pose against Sandy wearing her Karate Island outfit. And all around, we see lights and different posts, so it's safe to say that this is actually a movie shooting video, and Squidward being inside the director's chair is more of just confirmation that this is what this is. They're about to attack each other, and then SpongeBob gets sucked into another portal. Now, notice that SpongeBob keeps changing his costumes in every single level, but Patrick stays the same. Now, what my theory on that is, I think that Patrick is the person that we're trying to save inside this game. I think this is a different Patrick being from another universe. Kind of this all-knowing cosmic guide that he's taking SpongeBob on, and SpongeBob is trying to save his friend while battling all these other different enemies. Patrick gets hit up by a thing of lava. I find that hilarious as well. And SpongeBob is in his prehistoric outfit, which is super cool. I doubt these are actually outfits. I think he might be morphing into different SpongeBobs from dimension to dimension, but who's to say, really? SpongeBob then gets transformed into Gary SpongeBob from I Was a Teenage Snail. It's pretty humorous here. This level appears to be a Halloween level. Freaking super cool. I love it so much. They're surrounded by pumpkins and these weird orange houses everywhere, along with these just freaking beautiful lights. I love the level design of this game. Even though this isn't actual gameplay, this looks amazing. And I hope that Snail SpongeBob is actually something you can turn into. I really hope so. We also see the Flying Dutchman sniffing his dining sock from the Shanghai episode. Yeah, this is the sock he wears in order to eat people, or things, really. SpongeBob then becomes a cowboy riding his trusty steed, Mystery. And there's a bunch of clouds in the sky of different stars and hats and all things cowboy-like. He then jumps over Mrs. Puff, who is in a boatmobile. So I don't really understand where this is actually taking place. Is it taking place inside a cowboy universe where there's boats around? Who's to say, really? SpongeBob then takes off his beautiful flowing hair, which is also a reference to My Pretty Seahorse. He, for a brief second, has some beautiful flowing hair in that episode as well. And then we jump back to Band Geeks, where they're all playing different instruments. Now, Mr. Krabs is the only one not dressed up as anything, but it's still pretty cool. Now, in the background, the very interesting part is that we have SpongeBob's house. Now, instead of it being a pineapple, though, it's a can with pineapples inside it. The design is actually really creative. I really like it a lot. Squidward's house is also inside of a bubble, and Patrick's house is a triangle way back here. When SpongeBob's singing into his microphone, he is wearing the friendship ring, which is actually inside of the episode of Band Geeks as well. This is a little fun fact. I do find it weird that he's not singing with Plankton inside this, but In the background, we do see Patrick being tossed around by all the little lobby things like a beach ball. It's quite humorous, actually. And all the flowers just have this really weird design. It looks uneven, kind of like this is some dystopian SpongeBob universe. I love it. SpongeBob then transforms into all different versions of him. Now this cowboy SpongeBob actually looks really familiar. I don't think we get anything from this inside the show, but there is actually an action figure of SpongeBob that looks exactly like this. In fact, the Knight SpongeBob also has an action figure that looks a little bit like this as well. And Caveman SpongeBob, though Caveman SpongeBob is from the show, you could say that they're taking some inspiration from different SpongeBob action figures. And then he gets teleported into the dimensional area with a jar of mayo and all of his friends. And Mrs. Pup just ripping on the guitar. You can see that their eyes are still moving as she's doing it. And SpongeBob just awkwardly kind of looks at her when he gets nudged. It's really good. Now, there was a lot of Mrs. Puff inside this as well, which makes me wonder, is Mrs. Puff going to be playable inside this game? I don't know. I can't remember the last time Mrs. Puff has ever been playable inside of a game. Besides, I guess, Boating Bash.
I'm not kidding. I've been up for hours. It's 1 o'clock at the moment, but I needed to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Are you guys excited about this game? There's also a bunch of news on the trailer. Like, it sounds like SpongeBob and Patrick used Mermaid Man's tears in order to get inside this Hooey Dooey level or whatever, wish-granting tears. So then I'm gonna assume that Patrick used the wish-granting tear and was like transported to a different dimension, and that's why SpongeBob's out to find him. I've been up for hours. I'm tired. I love you guys. I will see you guys in another episode. Goodbye.